Hi, and welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. Today we have one of my personal favorites here, a beautiful Superformance MK3. This thing is bad. Come on up, we're going to take a walk around, show you everything, and let you hear it run. Come on up and take a look at this car. Absolutely beautiful. Over the top paint. Body is absolutely flawless. It's got over 550 horsepower. This is a sure gem. Very well put together. As you can see in the pictures, it even comes with a top tonneau cover. Beautiful exhaust. Outstanding, guys. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own one of the best Cobra kit cars here. 427 4-speed, over the top. The fit and finish on this car is absolutely immaculate. In the trunk here, look how nice and finished that is. Absolutely beautiful. You can tell the quality of a Superformance Cobra just by walking around and comparing the two bodies, you know, to other Cobra manufacturers. Just over the top. The tread, the wheels, everything about this car is turnkey. Call me today at 248-974-9513. Remember, at Vanguard Motor Sales, we are not consignment dealer. We own our inventory. Therefore, we call for quality. Check out the beautiful interior in this Superformance. Absolutely gorgeous, flawless interior, wood wheel, gorgeous gauges. Everything's labeled in there. This car only has 3,100 miles on it and has been meticulously maintained. Don't miss out on the opportunity to own this turnkey Cobra. Call me today. My name is Tom at 248-974-9513. 7 days a week.
All right, now that you've had a quick look at the car, if you want to go straight to our website and check out about 180 other cars, hit the top button. If you'd like to watch an About Us video, hit the middle button. If you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bottom button. Now let's get back out there and check out that car. All right, this is where we'd normally take this Superformance out for a ride, but as you can see behind me, you might be able to see the snow out back there. So we're not driving the Superformance Cobra in the snow, but I am going to show you down here on the dash. We got all the gauges you need here. Now all these stickers, these all come off. That's just labeled so you know what they do when you get this car in your possession. Beautiful wood steering wheel, the tach's working. We've got water temp here, we got the amp gauge, the fuel gauge, we've got oil pressure, and then there's that speedo too. It's got the signature going backward speedo that all the Cobras. Then we got our 5-speed here. Now at Vanguard Motor Sales, we're shipping experts. We can ship this Superformance Cobra anywhere in the world. You just give us a call at 248-974-9513. Now the guys are out driving this thing and they say she is a beast. And when it gets nice and dry out, I'll be out driving this one. This is a sweet car here, guys. So give us a call and we'll park this stream in your drive.
All right, guys, we're underneath our 65 Superformance now. You can see, first off, big old fuel cell in this thing. They did a nice job making this thing, nice clean bends, and they did give it like a almost like a truck bed undercoating, sort of a texture to it, so you can't see all like the fabrication marks, but it looks like it actually was done fairly well. Got some nice fuel-approved hoses here for the fill neck. Really nice stuff here, and it is protected by mud flaps here on either side. Moving forward to that, you can see we've got tubular lower control arms on the rear end of this thing, because it is independent suspension in the rear, and we have an 8.8, I believe it like a Cobra rear end or something of that nature. 373 gears in it. It's posi. Very nice rear end. It's a 488, so the gears are relatively easy to find if something happens or you simply want to change the ratio. Nice adjustable coilovers back here. Looks like really nice stuff. CV joints look nice and strong on this thing. You can see we got a fuel filter here coming from the tank all the way forward here. And then it all changes over to hardline, which I'd like to point out the plumbing on this car, as I like to point out when it is nice on cars. I do, because that to me points out a very well-built car. A lot of time was taken when you went to go build it. I mean, everything seems to be bent very nicely. They've got all the proper hold-down clamps on it. You know, everything's nice and tight to the frame. It looks really good. It looks like someone took the time when they did this. Also with the frame, you can see that I believe this to be a Superformance Cobra, and the frames on these are actually pretty nice. You can see fabrication is done really well. The welds, they sunk down, you know, the penetration of the weld really deep. It's very, very nice. They ground it clean. Nice black paint job on it. Good job. In between the frame rails here, we've got a Tremec TKO 5-speed manual transmission. The 5th gear is overdrive. One of the baddest things that Tremec makes right now is the TKO, and here you go right here. Attached to that is this SFI approved bell housing. It's a scatter shield. Clutch blows up, it keeps you safe. These are a really nice thing to have, and they're stronger than you can ever believe. Hydraulic clutch in this thing. We do get the little return spring on it, but we do have a hydraulic clutch on this. FE motor here. We got the turkey pan. At least that's what we call it. It's just basically probably a 7 or 8 quart oil pan on this thing, so a lot of added capacity. That's always a good thing for your performance motors, and this is a really high-end performance FE engine. Moving forward to that, you can see we've got our sway bar here, and they've got this done a little bit different than most of them, but it's actually looks a lot cleaner than most of the setups. Most of the setups sit forward of your rack here, but this actually looks pretty nice. I actually like it like this better. We've got the same adjustable, I guess you would call it struts up here. We've got you know, fully adjustable spring rate and what have you, and the shocks inside of that. We've got our rack up here. I do believe it to be a manual rack, but these Cobras weigh close to nothing, so really not much to worry about there in the way of steering the thing. Tubular lower control arms and upper control arms. All the steering linkages look like they're beautiful. Of course, it's all brand new. This car wasn't built not too long ago. Disc brakes in the front, disc brakes in the rear. It is power. We got the booster under the hood, which you'll see in just a second. Outside of that, we do get a little bit of a nick up here on the nose of it. You know, that's fairly common with Cobras. You know, just they sit kind of low to the ground, a little bit of road rash or whatever it may be. But I mean, of course, it's not going to rust. This is a fiberglass nose, so no worries about it ever getting any worse or anything like that. Let's check out wheels and tires, and we can look underneath the hood. All right, guys, up here we got BFG radial TAs. It's a pretty common tire for muscle cars. It's because they look good and they perform fairly well too. We got 255, 60 R15s on these Cobra wheels. These are true knockoffs, and I think it's funny they even have them labeled on or off. And you have the little piece of safety wire here. This is something good for when you run this thing around on the street. Make sure that thing doesn't come off of there and you lose your wheel, but you're protected against it with that. Let's go check out the rears. All right, guys, back here we got 295 50 R15. A lot of meat. These are almost 300 50 R15s. Quite a bit of tire back here. 15-inch rim. It's a little bit deeper than the front, which is what it should be. You got the nice staggered look. These are labeled off and on as well. And you do have the true knockoff with the safety wire, and you can see right there is our disc brakes behind all of that. Let's go check out the FE under the hood. All right, guys, underneath the hood of this thing, we got about 500 pounds of FE awesome. This is, as I said, it's an FE engine. The valve covers do say 427, however, the previous owner stated that this thing actually has a stroker crank in it, which ends the cubic inch somewhere in the 462, I think it was 462 cubic inches is what this is. Along with the stroker crank, this thing should have H-beam competition rods in it, more than likely an upgraded piston, and we also have Edlebrock aluminum Performer RPM heads. Every car that we've had that's had that set of cylinder heads on it, it's run amazing, and I'm assuming this is going to be no different. In between the cylinder heads, we have an aluminum Ford intake on this thing. Above that, we have a Holley 750 CFM 4-barrel carburetor. It's a 4150 model. This carburetor does have mechanical secondaries, a mechanical choke that you can hook up. However, this one is just wired open. Of course, this thing is never going to be driven in the winter, so that really shouldn't be any problem. And on top of that, we've got our tiny little K&N air filter on it. Let's see here. Nice set of headers on the thing. Nice big primary tubes. I like to see that. For ignition, we have Excel wires on this thing. I am trying to see what kind of distributor this thing. Obviously an aftermarket distributor. Looking at the wires coming out of it, I can tell that it's a solid state. But like I said, Excel wires. We got an MSD blaster coil down there. Power brakes, as I had mentioned. Well, the camera's down there. You can see we have a solid state voltage regulator. We have electric fans up here to keep this thing cool, and it does have an aluminum radiator as well. Of course, speaking of cooling systems, we got this nice chrome tank here. I like that. Let me see here. Divorced oil filter or oil filter relocation kit. So you pick up a little bit of oil capacity along with our nice stainless braided lines here too, and it also would help cool the oil a little bit more too. Looks as if we have a sending unit there for an oil temperature gauge too, which is also a big positive. That's always a good information to have. Let me see here. Outside of that, this is our reservoir for our hydraulic clutch. I can see that all of our brake lines are bent very, very well. If I didn't say it already, this thing does have power brakes and master cylinders over there tucked up underneath the fender well there. You won't be able to see it. On this side, not much really over here. This side's pretty clean, pretty sparse. I guess outside of that, this thing should be just an absolute riot to drive with this engine, that transmission, and that rear end. It should be an absolute riot. So, if you'd like to experience that riot, make sure to call Tom with the number below and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this Cobra in your driveway.
All right, we've made it really easy for you. Click on any one of these 5 pictures here and it'll take you right to whatever you're interested in. We're gonna give you about 30 seconds here to click these pictures. If you need more time, just go back in the video and click that picture.